Hi there, this is Coach Mona from the Oola Corner. Today I am joined by Coach Curtis and we're going to be talking about entrepreneurship. Curtis, what does it take to be an entrepreneur?
Well, Mona, honestly, you got to be just a little crazy, a little nuts, a little insane, but you truly have to have true passion and true purpose, not only in your business, but in your life.
That is awesome. Guys, you got to grab your pen and some paper for this. It is going to be a powerful one.
You got me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You got me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. Yes, I'm the winner, yeah.
Hello, and welcome back to the Oola Corner, the place where we share all things Oola. Now, what is Oola, you ask? Oola is a made-up word. It comes from the French word ooh la la, and it was coined by two amazing guys, Dr. Troy, the Oola guru, and Dr. Dave, the Oola seeker, as they embarked on a quest to help people find balance in an unbalanced world. Oola, then, is living a life of balance and greater purpose. It's about recognizing where you are in 7 key areas of life, setting goals, and then daily action steps in place so you can grow and live the life of your dreams. Hi, my name is Coach Mona, and I am a certified Oola life coach. And what I want to do is challenge you to dream again. Today is an exciting day. We're going to talk about going from burnt out to fired up. Yes, we're talking to all the burnt out managers, executives, or just normal frontline workers out there. Those that are realizing that there's more to life than a 9 to 5 job. Those that are tired of making money for somebody else and that are ready to take the leap of faith and step into entrepreneurship. Working a 9 to 5 job is safe. Trust me, I know because I do. Not 9 to 5, but anyway. The paycheck is regular. You know what you have. You know that you have what you need to pay the bills and then to have some fun on the sides. Stepping into entrepreneurship is all about stepping out of that comfort zone and following a calling, a dream, that passion. We do know statistics tell us that 4 million people every month in America resign from their 9 to 5 jobs. 4 million people wanting something more for themselves, something different. And today I am here with the expert himself, Mr. Curtis Haman. Did I say that correct? I know you said it before, but Curtis, hey.
Hello. Yes, it's Hammond.
Hammond, there you go. I was like, as I was saying it, I'm like, there's something wrong here. Welcome to the Oola Corner.
Welcome. Thank you. How
All
are you
right.
today?
So I'm pumped up. I'm doing great. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how did Oola kind of sneak into your life?
All right. Well, I got to warn you, I'm a yellow personality, if you know anything about colors, and I've had about 10 cups of coffee. So I may go really fast. I may get excited. And I'm from the country, so y'all may hear a lot of y'alls and stuff in here. So just bear with me. But really, it's kind of funny because most of the hugely successful people that you hear about are entrepreneurs. But
Yes.
they're normally, they come from really, really bad, completely broke backgrounds. And so they have that drive within them to really, really go out there and reach out to the world and do something better. Well, that wasn't me. I wasn't rich by any means growing up. In fact, we were really poor when I was young, but I was so young I didn't realize it. But eventually we got up into the middle class status. And I like to call that the middle class disease, right? Because
Amen.
you don't really want for anything. You definitely don't need anything. Everything is there, right? So you grow up that way, and then you go
It's
to college.
comfortable, right?
Yeah. You go to college, and you get a job. You're like, well, everything should just come to me, right? So uh,
Mhm.
you don't necessarily come out with a lot of driving passion to create and to solve people's problems and everything. But eventually I did, but I'll reverse a little bit. I, 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 I went through a lot of stuff during college and up to about the age of 25 that essentially I honestly didn't think that I was going to be alive by the age of
Oh
25.
wow.
And it's for another story, but the whole living in my car, um, didn't want to reach out to people, even though I had family, but my pride was too
Mm.
big to reach out to them. And I was a really bad womanizer, alcoholic, and I could go on and on, but it's because I didn't think I didn't care. Didn't think I'd live till
Mm.
25, and then I did. I made it to 25. I'm like, uh-oh, now what? I
Yeah.
had no career. I mean, I was a bartender and a bouncer, stuff like that. So no career options. So I finally decided I'm going to get into the corporate world, even though I didn't think I would
Mhm.
like it. But that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Right. Yeah,
Right,
for sure.
right. Grow up, go to college, get in the corporate world, and move up the ladder, and go home, eat, sleep, start over. Go to work, go
Mhm.
home, eat, sleep, start over. That's what you're supposed to do. Well, so that's
Yes.
what I did, and so that drove me just because I felt like I was behind. Most of my friends already had retirement accounts going and they had families and everything. And I was the bum, the black sheep of my friends and my family, actually. So,
Mhm.
so I started working extremely hard, got moved up, faster than anybody, this, that, and the other. So I was really passionate about improving myself. All right. But
Yep.
that was it. That was it. So I worked so hard for this company. I ended up working for them for 23 years. But after about 15 years, I started wondering there's got to be something different, right? Life can't be just, as I said earlier, wake up, go to work, go home, eat, sleep, wake up, go to work. I just couldn't imagine. I really wasn't happy. I'm married, had kids, all the fulfilling things that you're supposed to have, but I still wasn't fulfilled. Right.
Mhm.
So I got into real estate. That was my first entrepreneurial thing, real estate investing. And man, I got into it heavily. Did all the personal development that you could ever imagine, Robert Kiyosaki, so on and so forth.
Mm.
And I did very well. In fact, I was about to quit my corporate job. There was this 23 unit apartment complex I was going to buy. And if it went through, I was gone. Right. Well, that fell through because it just, whatever, it didn't appraise high enough. And then a month later, the market crashed. That 2008.
Mhm.
And I tell you what, I had, long story, but I had all these things that I needed to refinance, things that should have been easy a month ago, and then I couldn't. So I lost every bit of real estate that I had. Right, I didn't have to
Wow.
file bankruptcy because I did have some backup plans, but I lost everything other than my home because I bought it cash through real estate, and I had cars that I paid cash for, and pretty much that was it. We actually ended up on food stamps, even though I was making over $100,000 a year at my corporate job. So I was
Right.
like, thank God I did not quit my job. So I kind of went backwards at that point because it reinforced it. I really need to stay with this job
Right.
because it is secure, right? I've got a family now. I need to be worried about that. And so I was scared to death to go out and branch on my own again. And then um, something kind of got the itch. My wife started doing something called Oola
Mhm.
and doing her own business. And eventually we got to the point where she was able to leave her job and do that full time. And she kept trying to talk me into it. I'm like, there's no way, no way am I going to leave this job because I know that I'm going to get paid. Right?
Yes.
And things started changing, right? As everything in the corporate world does. They start slashing your budgets. In fact, they froze my pay 15 years. I did not get a raise. It had nothing to do with me. It was just a demographic change, with the corporate world. They started slashing bonuses, started slashing benefits. All the reasons that I really enjoyed that job when it came to the money and financial stability were going away. I was like, ooh, and then I'm not happy. There's more pressure, more pressure, more pressure. I mean, it's literally like I was bench pressing 315 pounds and people kept putting on more weight and more weight and more weight. And then I started thinking about all the family responsibilities, and I'm miserable at my job. And it just kept pressing down to where I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
I literally could not breathe. I didn't, that mixed with, I was getting chills. I mean, it was awful feeling. So I started thinking back to being an entrepreneur again. Maybe doing it better this time. What did I do wrong last time? I never considered that. I only thought,
Right.
well, I failed. It wasn't my fault. I was blaming the economy, but if I'd have been smarter about it, it would have been a fantastic business to be in, even in 2008. So I went back and thought about all that crazy stuff. What could I have done differently? So one of the biggest things that I realized was where I failed was that I was in it for myself only. That was it. I was in it for myself. I was like, if I could get into something like this for other people, I found that that's truly what I'm passionate about.
Right.
So I started looking into that kind of stuff. And then the Oola thing started ringing in my ear. I was like, well, let me look into that. Just let me look into that. And when I started it, I was like, this is it. This is what I need, right? It's not the business, that I need. It's not the money that I need. It's the entire framework. Exactly. So the things that I felt that were missing in the past, even with faith and friendship and family and all that, now is being pointed out to me. This is what you're missing. And so I start digging into it. I'm like, all right, this is me. So I jumped into Oola full force, and I'm a coach, and I'm on the global end and plan on doing huge things with it. I truly do. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
Really excited.
Wow.
I mean, it's already, you come up with your goals in the very beginning, and I've already accomplished my number one goal, which was leave my corporate job. And financially it helped, right? But mostly it gave me the courage again, and the faith in myself that I could do it. So that's the number one goal reached, and excited for what's coming forward. So
That's amazing. I mean, you were like giving me goosebumps as you're sharing your story, because I feel the pressure of this 9 to 5 job. Like I see where I'm falling short. I'm falling short with my family because it's a stressful job, and I'm falling short in realizing, like, keeping my health, because I travel a lot. Like every month I travel for 2 to 5 days, and it takes a toll on my health, and obviously that's my physical and my mental health. I'm not seeing my family as much as I would like, and the money is there, and I feel comfortable. Like you said, I love the fact that you said the middle class, what did you call it? Middle class disease? Yeah, for sure. I was like, when you said that, I'm like, whoa, I think I got that. What's the cure? But I know the cure, right? I am here. I am also an Oola coach, and this is my dream as well. And being able to be here on the Oola corner and sharing Oola and sharing stories and being able to really get the word out there. That's my number one passion. But why don't you share with us, for all of those out there looking to kind of understanding my conundrum and where you were, and what is entrepreneurship really like? What is it?
Well, I want to revert back to something you said. You're talking about your 9 to 5 job and feeling all the same way, but you're already starting on your path, right? towards entrepreneurism. And they say that the joy is in the journey. So just
Mm-hmm.
remember that the joy is in the journey. You know, it wasn't overnight that I became this. You know, it was over a 15-year period.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't able to quit my job overnight, and et cetera, et cetera. You know, the definition of entrepreneur, I've looked it up before, and I can't remember it at all because it's really not relevant to me. But my definition is kind of like what Phil said. They're crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs are crazy. They have some kind of weird innate drive that makes them want to open up business after business after business, not maintaining the business necessarily, because that's no fun, right? But starting a business, that's I think where the true joy is. There is a difference in being an entrepreneur and being a business person, right? The
Right.
business person likes to start a business and grow the business and stay with it for the rest of their life. That's not necessarily an entrepreneur. All right. That's why you hear the term serial entrepreneurs all the time, because they've always got something going, because they're excited about it. And what I know, they enjoy the creativity part of it, but what they're really
Yes.
looking to do is solve a problem, right?
Right.
Whatever a problem is what they're trying to solve. And you know, of course, what Oola's doing it in 7 key areas of life, and that's something that really drew me to them. So that's my basic on what an entrepreneur is: crazy, self-motivated,
Yes.
opening up, starting, not maintaining, and then of course trying to solve a problem.
Yeah.
That's my
No,
definition.
that makes a lot of sense. I grew up. It's funny because I always thought I grew up with a family of entrepreneurs, but I think now my grandfather was definitely a businessman. You know, he started his own company and he grew it to be a multi-million, well, Norwegian currency company, which then my dad took over, but my dad ended up selling it. So he became a serial entrepreneur. He started another business which was equally successful before he moved to another one which was equally successful. And now, even though he's retired, he still has his, third, company. But what I find interesting for myself, having grown up in that kind of entrepreneurial uh, family, is the one thing that scares me the most is actually giving up the comforts of every, like, a bi-weekly paycheck. Like, that is the one thing that scares me the most. So I was like, I got into Oola. I'm like, I want to do this. I really do. And I'm going to just quit my job and I'll do it. But luckily, with the support and the coaching from Oola, I now have a plan in place to which, it's going to be a step by step. And like you said, I'm here now. I'm doing it. I'm taking action steps towards it. So yeah. Anyway, when you start working with your clients, what's the first hurdle that you see they kind of have to just to take or start thinking about to take those action steps towards entrepreneurship? So you'll be basically talking to me now, like, what is
Sure.
the action steps I need to take? What are the hurdles that I might face as I start my
Okay.
my journey?
Two main things that I like to lead into is, first of all, you were only born with two fears. You were talking about fear a minute
Mm-hmm.
ago. Two fears. I don't know if you know what they are, but it's a falling.
The fear of falling and fear of loud noises.
Yeah. So where do all the others come from?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. They are inherited through your family. You know, they're inborn from everybody around you. You know, and it's just like cement piled upon you is where all these other fears are. So I can't say that you have to learn to get rid of them. You have to face the fear. You hear it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Step out of your comfort zone and do it. And the only way to do that is to do it, to take action. That's truly the only way. You know, of course, you can look at like the ready, set, go method that Oola uses. You know, the ready part is, okay, if I don't step out of my comfort zone, I'm sorry, the ready part is I'm not stepping out of my comfort zone, right? Then the set is, if I don't step out of my comfort zone, what kind of reality am I going to face? And if I
Yeah.
do step out of it, how much happier am I going to be You go with the how much happy I'm going to be, and then you hit go, which is take action. So ready, set,
Yes.
go. And so that's where you're at. You're already taking action. So you've got a huge part of it down. Now, the second thing, which is tremendous, and some people have got it right off the top of their head, and some people have to go at it for a year before they figure out what it is. But why?
Mm,
What's the why behind what
yes.
you want to do? Like I said, when I failed years ago, and I'll fail again, is the why was just me. It was just I was being selfish, right? And I wasn't being
Hmm.
selfless. I was being very selfish because it was just all about me. When it became about other people, not only did I become more successful, but I felt a lot more fulfillment in a huge
Yeah.
way. So that's the two key things. Step out of your comfort zone and know your why.
Yeah. And know your why. That's huge.
Mm.
That is really, really huge. That's something that I kind of circle back to a lot when I go through my goals and I have a setback. You know, I always circle back to my why. Why am I doing this? Why am I pushing through? Why? And for me, my why is my family. That's my biggest. That's my why. That's my driving force. That's
Mhm.
what pushes me to do the things that I would like to do in my life. So when you start working with your clients, like what is the first advice that you give them? So again, you're talking to me. I'm here.
Yeah,
I want to go out there. I want to do this. What would be your first advice to me?
sure. Well, obviously, we got to figure out your why. And one way to figure out your why is to figure out what your passions are and what your purpose is. You have to have your
Hmm.
passion and your purpose. And there's exercises that we can go through that will get you really close to what your passions are. And I've got like this 3-day thing that I could do with people. It takes like 3 hours each to really dig down and hone down to
Wow.
figure out what your passion is. All right. And then, of course, your purpose can be similar or it can be completely different. Um, but once you find out your passion and your purpose, I'm going to call that your definitive major purpose. Okay.
Right.
Once you find your definitive major purpose, you have to go through that. So I'm going to say you have to have DMP and you have
Yep.
to have a WPOA and then a PMA and then MMA. And what do those stand for? Right? DMP is definitive major purpose, right?
Yes.
Through your passion and your purpose. And then your WPOA is a written plan of action. And that needs to be backed by a burning desire, written plan of action backed by a burning desire, straight from the heart,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then PMA is a positive mental attitude. And
Hmm.
MMA is a mastermind alliance or a group like
Oh wow. Yeah.
Oola, mastermind alliance. You could call it an accountability group, whatever you'd like to call it. You have to have all four of those to be successful in anything that you do. So, definitive major purpose, written plan of action, backed by a burning desire, positive mental attitude, and then a mastermind alliance. That's where we start.
Awesome. All right. So where do I sign up, Curtis? And then, of course, for anybody else listening out there as well that, you know, want to find that, you know, definite purpose, how can they reach you? Where can they find you? And then obviously I'll be taking notes here as well because you'll be
Cool.
hearing from me.
Yeah, there's two things that's fairly easy. My email, which is curtislhammond@gmail.com. If I put in the comments. And then curtislhammond.com. So that's CurtisLHAMAN.com. That's just a very simple website to go to get in touch with me.
Awesome. There you go.
Very beautiful. Ham and eggs.
Perfect. Perfect. That is, thank you so much. This has been mind blowing for me. I really, really enjoyed our conversation. Thank you for sharing so deeply as well from your own experience and yeah, for being here today and
Yeah,
during spring break.
Yes, yes, during spring break. Crazy times at the house, at the Hammond homestead. Which is, we've got llamas and everything is crazy out here.
Oh my
But
God. I'm stopping by you next time I come to Tennessee.
yeah. Hey, I want to tell you, I'm truly, truly grateful for this opportunity. For if we don't have gratitude in everything, we don't have gratitude in anything. That's what I want to leave you
Absolutely.
on. That's what I want to leave you with. So thank you.
And that's how we always end our Oola talks as well. The first one is always be grateful. We
And
always
have
say have
faith.
faith.
Yes.
And then most importantly, go and live your Oola life.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much again, Curtis. It's been an amazing chat today. And for anyone listening, curtislhammond.com. Check it out. I know I will. Until next time, like I said, be grateful, have faith, and go get your Oola life. Bye.
You got me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the